So here's what happened, right? My mate, he got a C64 after me. The first game he bought was Havoc. Havoc is a fiendishly difficult game. There's still no long play of it. And you'll never see what happens at the end if you don't genuinely finish it, because the cheats, they prevent you completing the game. So, but anyway, he had a C64 for a while. He had Forbidden Forest as well, Revenge of the Mutant Camels. I can't really remember. He had Munch Mania. But sadly, what I think happened is he had a screwdriver on the floor, and his C64 was also on the floor. And it must have, like, the screwdriver, he must have pushed the C64, and it must have, like, shorted out some pins on the cartridge slot or the user port or something like that. Now that doesn't actually blow the C64 up, it blows the internal fuse, but we didn't know that back then. So anyway, we pack it all up, and he takes it back to Rumbelows, where he bought his one in Edmonton Green. And what I do remember is, you know, when Mel Smith has got his Rapsy Nesbitt style character, you know, he's a bit scruffy with the white t-shirt on kind of thing. They're gonna fucking bomb me, aren't they? So they have my position now. They're just not on the right path. Thank you. Where was I? On the right, yeah. So this guy, he looked like Mel Smith with ginger. He had like ginger hair, very greasy. Yeah, we've got the little armory there. Right, yeah. So I'm trying to play. Oh no, I always miss that one. Diagonals can push you forward as well, which is not good. Oh man, right, I can tell you the story now. Right, so pack up the C64, which he had for less than a year, and we take it there, and they didn't have any C64s. Actually, I don't know if they did have no, we wanted a brand new C64. They wouldn't give him one. They gave him the one they had at the in the room at the back they used for testing. You know, so like if people come in and said, you know, their cassette deck didn't work, or I don't know. You can, if you got a working C64 and working PSU power supply, you can actually check. You know, if someone brings one in and says it doesn't, it's just stuff like that. Not a proper engineer's thing, but so they gave him that, and it was really yellowed because obviously they all fucking smoked in there, and it had a fucking fag burn on the top. So we got home, we saw that, and I was like, I'm not fucking having that. So I told my mate, just get the fucking screwdriver and you know, spark it across the cartridge pins until it you know, the picture turns to snow. So I did that and take it back to Rumbelows, and they're in no mood to give him a new one now, for sure. They weren't going to give him one anyway. So they said to him, no, you have to send it to Commodore now. So they gave him the old Commodore address because Commodore had just moved. So he posts it off. I don't know if he posted off the one with the fag burn or his original one. I can't remember that. So we pack it all up. We go up to the post office. You know, two young teenagers. Why aren't you landing, you knob? Ah, for fuck's sake, we're a bit fucked now. Yeah, we are fucked, you know that? Ah! You can't take off unless you're at 100. So it's catch-22 there. Runway was just, what was I doing? Anyway, he posts it off, and we wait and we wait and we wait. No C64 comes back in the post. So after about, I don't know, 5-6 weeks, my mate goes up to the post office and they say to him, oh, you have to wait 3 months. And so he had to wait 3 months, and on the first weekend after that, we go up to the post office again. They actually take his claim, and then a fucking week or 2 after that, they finally send him back something like, you know, the full asking price for a Commodore 64. Because he took out the insurance for that sort of level. Land early, Mad Commodore, you know. So yeah, can you imagine what it would be like in 1984 to not have a home computer? To have to rely on your crusty old VCS games. He had Haunted House, Pac-Man, Defender, obviously Combat. He didn't have Space Invaders. Hey, motherfucker. And, oh, Jesus Christ, no. Yeah, even with my busted Bombay doors, I'm still knocking your buildings over. So he was absolutely fucking desperate to get a C64. So there we are. He's cashed the check, probably at the post office. Jesus Christ, the bombs don't work when I need them to. And we're walking around, you know, 2 like young teenagers, you know, not even 16 then, with like nearly 300 quid in his pocket, and we're going around all the shops. Every single shop. Boots, they ain't got any. Sorry, sold out. Tesco's, same story. Woolworths, same story. The independent shop that used to sell like video recorders and hi-fis and stuff, out of stock. Rumbelows out of stock. You name it, anywhere that could possibly have sold one, out of stock. And his mum was not willing to like take him to like Enfield Town, but I suspect they would have been out of stock too. 1984 was a phenomenal year for the C64 sales in the UK. Absolutely phenomenal, and I know that because I've read about it in the weekly magazines at the time. No, I'm not gonna, you know, do a video about that and spend hours and hours looking for the exact pages and if they've been scanned in or whatever. No, all my magazines are packed up. They have been for 4 fucking years. I don't even know what issues of computer and video games I'm missing now. Right on the corner, really. Oh man, what's going on? Fucking manoeuvrability. So anyway, we're in Woolworths, and he actually sees the game Sorcery running on the Amstrad CPC, which they have plenty of in stock. Now, they even had the model that had the TV modulator, so I think that was about $250 or something like that. It was around the price of a C64, that particular package, and it came with, you know, 12 games. So he bought Sorcery as well, so he had 13 games, and he loves Sorcery. And Sorcery, because there's no actual scrolling, he's actually better on the Amstrad graphically, because the Amstrad has better graphics for static screens than the C64. You can talk about, you know, doing this trick and that trick and IFLI on the C64, but if you're gonna have a flip screen game, which I don't like, but my mate actually liked those kind of arcade adventures where you got to map out a game. He actually completed Tomb Raider and he mapped it all out and everything on his PlayStation 1. Just fucking leave my bollocks alone, mate. They're aiming for my bollocks, stroke bombs. Yeah, so that's the story of how he ended up with an Amstrad. And of course the rivalry started straight away. So, you know, in the old days we'd go to the shop and for example we both bought Way of the Exploding Fist. You know what, I'm not sure about Exploding Fist now. But we both would have bought Revenge of the Mutant Camels, Forbidden Forest. So we'd go out, see what new games are out, maybe try some in Video Wheels, which was the name of the shop. And now it's a case of, well, he buys the Amstrad version and I buy the Commodore 64 version if we like the same game. And one I really remember is Commando. So, oh bloody hell. So I remember I got Commando and he got Commando for his Amstrad. My house was closer to the market than his house. We lived on the same street, but he lived like 40 doors up. I'm not going to say anything about that. Right, let's go. And yeah, so we got home and we're playing Commando because we used to play Commando in the local chip shop. And famously, I don't know if I've uploaded the video where I talk about I'll let you win. As when you're a sore loser. Like when you're playing Exploding Fist and your mate beats you, and just because you know sour grapes, it's like you just turn around and say, "I'll let you win. I'll let you win anyway." It's just a classic. But anyway, my mate got the high score on Bruce Lee. Not Bruce Lee, on Commando, and he used to put Bruce Lee as the name on the high score on Commando for some reason. His name is not Bruce, his surname is not Lee, he just liked Kung Fu movies. Anyway, and we both loved Commando and I got like 100 points less. So I was like just below him in the scores, so he would have been like third or something and I was fourth. And so I just put is gay. So when the high score thing come up, it would say Bruce Lee, and underneath it would say is gay. And he didn't like that. But anyway, we loved Commando, played Commando around my house for a bit. After coming back from the market Saturday afternoon. And everything's great, you know, Commando on the C64. Yeah, it doesn't have all the levels, but it was bloody a lot of fun that was. So then I go around his house with him and we load, because I'm curious now to see what the Amstrad version is going to look like, because the Amstrad is a very colourful computer. And we load it up and then the music starts playing and I could not stop laughing when I heard the Amstrad music, and then he started playing the game. And I remember him saying to me, "Man, you're gonna have a heart attack if you don't stop laughing." It's a fucking... And even to this day, if I go and like click on a YouTube video of Commando on the Amstrad, that music still makes me laugh, and so do them graphics. It's just fucking funny. So that's really what it was like. And then I think I got an ST. We Which actually, if you had an Amstrad CPC, you would have been very happy with the ST. Yeah, getting back to my mate, the traitor who switched over to the Amstrad CPC. The C64 was not his first computer. His first computer, because his parents, actually I think his mum and dad just split up then, and his mum was a seamstress, people who use those industrial sewing machines to produce garments. Same job that my mum was doing. That didn't pay that much, I must admit. I think my mum was getting roughly 80 quid a week in the mid 80s, which is not a lot of money. In the early 80s it would have been more like 50, so it wasn't, and she used to do long hours obviously. So the first computer he got was actually, and I still remember this, he got it from Argos, it was the Mattel Aquarius. And you're probably thinking, well, the Mattel Intellivision is not that bad, Mad Commodore, what are you talking about? Well, you see, here's the thing, the Mattel Aquarius has fuck all to do with a 16-bit Intellivision. Doesn't have any sprites, doesn't have the same CPU. In fact, it's halfway between a 48K rubber key Spectrum or 16K one and a ZX81. You know, it's like, well, it's not that sophisticated, mate, at all. And it has, I think, 1K of RAM, is it? I can't remember. But I still remember he got it, and we're trying it out. We're trying out like the shitty keyboard, which is like the shit keyboards you get on fucking laptops now. They're fucking horrible, actually. And you know, we typed in a program, because I already had a C64. I got my C64 as an early birthday present after my VIC-20 stopped working. That's a great story, and I don't need to tell that again. That's in my 5-part video that I recorded called My History. Whoa, did you hear that? And you can go on a bit of a rampage actually with the bombs. There is something weird going on with this joystick. I'm going to have to go and get the other zip stick now. Yeah, so we typed in some sound programs and they're fucking horrendous. And then, did he actually ever get any games for it? I don't know, you know. But we took it back to Argos and he got his money back. And he pretty much said to his mum, did we just hit the 200 speed there while I'm chatting away? He pretty much said to his mum, look, I need a C64 like Diaries has got. Obviously Diaries was not my name back then. My name could have been Peter for all you know. Never you mind what my real name was back then. And he got that, so he got a C64 and probably... No, he got his C64 from Rumbler. Bloody hell, double whammy innit? So he had a Mattel Aquarius and they are pitiful machines. And yet I still want a boxed one. Can you explain that? That's 100% nostalgia, that is. I don't know what the P stands for actually. It's a P camera. Oh no, the bombs are fucked, innit? Bombay Duck is buggered, innit? So yeah, there were some real shit computers for sale. I mean, on the ZX Spectrum, some programmers pulled off some miracles there, but the hardware itself was pretty shit, I have to say. and it was 175 quid actually, the 48k Spectrum. So if you add the cost of 16k RAM to that, that's about 200 quid. It was only about 50 quid less than the C64, which had a proper keyboard, proper sound chip, proper graphics chip. You peaked too soon, Mad Commodore. You prematurely erected the landing gear. That's not a problem that I have, actually. So I'm trying to think of someone who had a different computer that was also rubbish. I remember going around my mate, well, it wasn't really a mate, it was a posh kid who was at the same school as me. Junior school, I don't know what those kind of schools are called now, but you know, when you're like under 11 years old, I suppose 7 to 11 years, those 4 years. He had an Atari 800 and I was like, wow, this is great. Because I didn't get my VIC-20 until my first year of secondary school, so... And we had a fixed budget for the VIC-20. That was a bit risky, that was. Nah, never gonna happen. So I'm thinking of films to watch at the moment, and I'm thinking I might watch the Tom Cruise War of the Worlds film. I don't think I've ever watched that on a HD projector, so that would be nice. I have watched it many times on the projector, but so yeah, the altitude there still said 16, so maybe the wings when you're like flicking left and right. Anyway, so this is not going to be a long session anyway, because I'm not really in the mood actually. I ain't got much to say. I haven't really watched the news, so I can't really talk about the coronavirus yet. So I might go and watch the news and record a bit more after that. Obviously the cats need feeding and watering like a flower. Oh, I did hear something this morning. I was watching BBC News 24, and one of the GPs was saying they have face masks, but they're out of date, and the government has assured them that it doesn't matter that they're out of date. Imagine how you'd feel if you're like a 50-year-old fucking consultant and you've got an out-of-date face mask for a potentially lethal virus. That can't be a nice working environment. On the plus side, the enormous tree in my garden is starting to bloom. Even though it was frosty this morning. Yeah, it was unusually cold this morning, I must admit. Which didn't help my sore throat. Not one bit, sir. No, sir. Sore throat was, but that seems to have, 95% gone now, so I'm good with that. Oh crap. Missed that one, innit? The altitude seems a bit sensitive there. What is the maximum altitude there? So your maximum is 91, but when you get to 16, even over water, it would instantly kill you. That's a bit misleading. That's like the second time in a row I've done that, so... So there's wind, and the down arrow was pointing. So even though the wind is going down, it's still... I don't know why the bombs didn't release it. Definitely gonna have to find a couple more zip sticks. I never did find out what the keys were to actually control night mission, and it sounded all right on the you know, the buggered SID on the other CPC4, so I don't think I'll be doing that one again. Aztec challenge, well, I had to do that again because that was actually not running properly. There were invisible spears spearing me, and I couldn't really play that game on the other SX64. Could that be down to the SX64 basic ROM as well? There is a different ROM in them. Maybe they use a cassette buffer for something. Who knows, mate? Ooh, cutting it closer. That's a real Top Gun moment. Thought someone was banging on the window there. There's my cat checking to see if I'd close the kitchen door properly. She's really wanting to go into the kitchen there. Yeah, if the bridge collapsed, that would have been nice. Must admit. So there's a few things you could update on this game, I must admit. Yeah, I seem to end up going forwards as well now, so. Wolf, right, today we're going to have to use up more of my supplies, so I think a tuna baguette with some slightly out of date celery, chopped very finely because I don't want my teeth to have any problems. I ain't going to the fucking dentist for a year, mate. I ain't going to the dentist now, which I was going to do as soon as I'd finished like half the kitchen. I can't go to the dentist with this coronavirus now until they got a fucking vaccine that's proven to work, and I've had the vaccine. Then I'll go and have the filling replaced or whatever the fuck is going on. So I have to be really careful what I eat. Yeah, I have to say, this game, I'll have to check what other versions there are of this game. Ooh, here we are, here we go. Woo, woo. Mad Commodore, you're taking a piss with the altitude. I know, mate. I'll fly by the seat of my pants. What, with skid marks? Yes, with skid marks. Tom Cruise skid marks, thank you. You just got to make sure you get everything that's got the target on it. They're essential. Everything else is non-essential. So, missed that one. I was trying to go back now. Definitely something wrong with this joystick. I'll have to go and get the zip stick that I used to play skid marks on my Amiga 1200, talking of skiddy pants. Right, that's enough for today.